everyone, I'm back with Lanier Technical College Hall Campus Simulation Center. This is the second part of our GI series, and today we're going to be making 4 different kinds of bloody vomit. For the first thing, we're going to be making bright red blood. For your tools, you'll need a bowl, some spoons, petroleum jelly, food coloring, yogurt, just like white yogurt. This is vanilla, but it can be regular. Cat food, used coffee grounds, water, and instant oatmeal. All right, let's get started. All right. So basically, you're just going to dump all the ingredients into the bowl. Probably want about 1 tablespoon of instant oatmeal. That's about right. 1 tablespoon lubricating jelly. All right, and then you need 2 tablespoons of coffee grounds. All right, 1 teaspoon of plain or vanilla yogurt. Plain is probably better because it's not scented, but I couldn't find any, so I'm just going to use vanilla. You just want a teaspoon. You don't want a whole tablespoon. It's probably about a teaspoon. And next you're going to do 4 drops of red food coloring. After that, you're going to get 5 pieces of dried cat food. You're just going to mix it all together. Oh, you also need 3/4 cup of water. Just guesstimating here. All right. Now, you're going to mix everything up. My recommendation when you're doing this, mixing it together, it's better to use a whisk. I didn't really have that on hand, so I'm just using this plastic spoon. All right, after you're done mixing it up, I'm just going to let it sit. I'm going to make the other vomits first, and then I'm going to show you guys all the different kinds, because it's going to sit and I have to let the oatmeal kind of absorb it for about 5 minutes, so I'm just going to go ahead and make the other ones. Okay, for the next one, I'm going to be making dark red vomit instead of light red, which is what we just did. This time I'm using the same ingredients, I'm just using different amounts. And I'm using all the food colorings to get cap jumped at me. I'm using all the different colors to make brown instead of just using red. All right, let's get started. All right, so the first thing that you're going to want to do is add about a 4th cup of water. Not near as much as we added last time. It says add 1 drop of red food coloring and then add 1 drop of caramel. Since I don't have caramel food coloring, I'm going to make brown. So what I'm going to do is instead add 2 drops of red, and then I'm going to add 1 drop of every other color that I have. All right, another tablespoon of used coffee grounds. Another tablespoon of instant oatmeal. All right, and then you're going to get another tablespoon of your petroleum jelly. All right, and this time I'm just going to mix it up. I'm not going to add the yogurt to this one. So you do have 1 less ingredient. I'm going to add a few more drops just because it looks almost brown. So I think I added a few extra drops of green. All right, now that that one's all mixed up, again, I'm just going to go ahead and let it set for 5 minutes, and I'm going to make the other 2. All right, this next one is going to be black vomit. It's really similar in color to the last one. So hopefully at the end you guys can see like the differences in the moulage. All right, so start with a 4th cup of water. Same as last time. Instead of a tablespoon, we're going to get a teaspoon of this instant oatmeal, so not quite as much. We're still going to get a tablespoon of the petroleum jelly though. All right. And then next we're going to do the food coloring. We're going to do 2 drops of the green food coloring. 2. And then you want to do 3 drops of red and then 3 drops of blue. And for the last thing, you're going to add 2 tablespoons of coffee grounds. All right, now we're gonna make the light brown vomit. So you're gonna start off by getting a 3/4 cup of water. Just eyeballing this again. All right, and then about a tablespoon of oatmeal. All right, you want 2 tablespoons of your coffee grounds. Scraping this out. All right. You want 1 tablespoon of your petroleum jelly. Right. And then you're going to want 1 tablespoon of your yogurt. All right, now, so remember when we did the black vomit, I used all of the colors to make black. Really with caramel, you would want to do the same, but since we want this to be a lighter color, we're just pretty much going to use yellow and a little bit of red. All right, just squeeze in a little bit in there. I'm going to mix it first to see if the color is what I want. Okay, I think it could be a little bit more brown, so I'm going to actually add a little red, just 1 teeny tiny little drop. Okay. Right. And then a teeny tiny drop of green. I'm going to add 1 more drop of green. All right, that's much better. See, sometimes you just kind of have to mix the colors just to see what you want. Of course, you could just go the easy route and actually find caramel food coloring, but if you don't, you just want to get your regular colors at Walmart. You would just have to mix colors and see what you want. All right, these are the 4 different kinds of vomit that we've just made. This is the bright red, so you see the cat food, and then some of the other chunks that just, look like vomit chunks. All right, and this is the dark red. This is the black vomit. And then this is the brown vomit. Now, I told you guys I would show you. They're both kind of dark, but you can still see like the color differences. So this one's still red and this one's still black. Use this on your mannequin. It can be in a vomit bowl, but if you wanted to make like a home setting, you could just kind of pour this on the floor. I would probably lay down like maybe a clear plastic sheet before you do that, just so, and this is food coloring, you don't really want to stain anything. And same goes for the mannequin. If you wanted to take some of this Vaseline, it's got the color soaked into it, so you could lay like a little Tegaderm down on your mannequin right here, and then you could take that Vaseline with your finger and just kind of like dab it on there, almost like it was dribbling out of their mouth. So, all right, that's it for GI Bleed Part 1 and Part 2. Next week, we'll be looking at how you can moulage for a patient with an upper respiratory infection. So join us next week for that. Thank you for watching. Bye.